Okay. All right, ready? Mm-hmm. So we're going to attempt to fade a receding hair line. Well, not hairline, just receding. Pretty much almost gone.
You keep telling me it's almost my last one. I probably have more like 2 left.
Yeah. So I'm going to fade someone who's balding on the top. I'm going to try to hide it as much as I can, and we're going to do a no guard, and we're going to bring it up to about a 6. So he has a tricky little spot right here that we're going to try to conceal. So I'm going to start by using a 6.
Down here.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do first is going to take some off the top. I have it all the way to the highest setting. That way I can gradually take off. And I'm not going to be worried about taking too much off because I have it on the highest setting, so it's not going to take too much off. Just going to trim it up. I could do it with scissors, but I find this easier.
Yeah, I told my son, do you want to come by and get a haircut? He does it with clippers and a comb, and he was like, no thanks, I'm good. He's so addicted to scissors.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He goes to Sitting Bull,
Yeah.
but he got a full head of hair. He don't need no expertise. Just a barber.
I forgot to give you your...
Oh.
I totally forgot. We're going to have to pause that.
That's okay.
Oh, shoot.
What?
It's all right here. I thought I forgot it, but it's actually here.
No, it's good. I remembered it earlier, but I was like, well.
Oh, my bad.
Don't worry about it. I'm taking this shirt off outside.
Are you...
Yeah, I'm going to just outside.
Okay.
You can still put it on now. That
You
way,
want it on?
Yeah, that way when you get these huge, massive clumps coming down
Yeah.
on the sides. And if you want that up or down, you can turn that up or down. And I do have a light for that one. Since I'll probably cut this part out since it's...
Yeah.
But I have a light for that one, so if you want to turn that one off and then put just an isolated light on this side here, I have one like that too.
Oh, no, we're good.
Yeah, go right here.
Oh, no, we're good like that.
Man.
So we're going to start over, I guess.
Put the hair back.
Yeah. Alright. So today we're going to attempt to fade someone who has a big balding patch on top. As you can see, there's not much left. So I'm going to try to magically blend that and fade this. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an 8, not a 6 as I mentioned before. This is an 8, have it to the highest setting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it. Now I could use scissors, but I feel this is a lot easier, faster. So I'm just going to trim all this. Just a quick little trim. I won't take too much. That's gonna come later. This is just trimming the top. Now he wants a no guard, so we're gonna do that on the bottom. It's gonna go all the way around, pretty much give him like a big chili bowl. You gonna keep the beard or you're gonna?
I'm gonna shave it.
You gonna shave it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I shave it whenever you give me a haircut.
Okay. So we're gonna start taking this off. It turned off.
No, just look.
Oh. Alright, so we're gonna start taking everything off. We're gonna make our little. So the way I fade, I like to do the line low because eventually it's gonna end up, the fade is gonna be about here. So I always make my line here. I'm just gonna fade. I like using these brushes. It takes the hair away. That way you can see better. See where you're cutting. Just gonna go over this. Nice little straight line. And clean it up as I go.
I have to blur out your password.
Oh. Okay. This way.
How do you measure? You could talk it something like that.
What do you mean?
How do you measure talk the person what you're seeing, like what do you measure?
Oh, so the way I measure that is I was gonna get to that in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
After I made sure it was straight, I was gonna, so usually I like to start it around the temple, about the mid temple right here. And as you can see, I just pretty much I didn't go straight across. I went down just a little bit, like a little angle. because of the fact that when I do the fade, this is going to come up higher than this is. This is going to require more fading than this first part. So I go about the same. And what I'll do is I'll just come take a real quick peek, and then I'll look at your eyebrows and I'll measure off of that. So I see your line here, and then I just go along with that part of the eyebrow, and then I'll come and I'll pretty much try to do the same. Now, if one side's higher than the other, what I'll do is I'll just lift the other side a little bit up. It's not going to make much of a difference. Now, if you're off by 3-4 inches, then you got a little bit of a problem, but usually it's barely off, so you can even it out. So I'm going to turn you this way a little bit. Right there. Okay. So now that we pretty much cleaned it all up, you can kind of see like this right here. It's not exactly straight around. So what I'll do is I'll just come in and I'll just fix it up a little bit. Make sure it's pretty much straight. It doesn't have to be exactly straight, because once you start the blending process, it's going to come along and it's all gonna come together pretty much. So all I'm doing here is I'm just making sure I get every little piece of hair, and you're not gonna have any sticking out. See, I'm coming to check it again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, make sure I got everything. Okay, now that we're good there, I'm going to get your neckline. Now for me, that's one of my little pet peeves that if I were to go get a haircut, I always hate that they miss the little hairs on the back of the neck, you know? So I would make sure I cover that. Some barbers are just worried about getting it done in a timely manner. Oh, too fast actually. And they worry about the little things like that. Me, it just bothers me, so I just personally always make sure I take care of that. So now that we pretty much did the bottom, we're gonna start our blending, our fading. So we've already cut the top. Little by little, we're going to start blending this and make it disappear and make a just little fade. So since I used the 8 up here, I'm gonna go with the 7 and I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna follow the process. I'm gonna follow that afterwards with the 6 and the 5, 4, 3 until we get to the 2 and the 1, and then this line will go away. So I'm doing a 7, and I'm doing it with the guard all the way up. That way it's maybe like a 7.5. All I'm really worried about is just trying to get any hairs that are up at the top. I know it's not going to take a lot away, but gradually as we do more guards, it's going to. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bring this down and I'm gonna repeat it. Little by little until it starts to fade. So now that we're done with our 7, we're going to jump to our 6. We're going to repeat. Put the 6 on, all the way up. Same thing. Now this I'm going to go a little higher than I normally would. If I'm doing a regular fade, I'm just going to go to about right here. But since we're working with receding hair, or with the pretty much balding,
Fading fade.
yeah, the fading fade, we're going to go a lot higher than what we normally would. That's so we can start blending that spot. That way it doesn't look like he has like a toupee.
They don't mistake me for Donald Trump.
Right. I was wondering what that noise was. Okay, now that we did that, we're gonna bring this back down and repeat. Right now, I'm not worried about this bottom part. I'm just worried about blending this up here. Because once this is blended, then I can focus on this. One of the hardest things is to try to get this blended.
It's pretty cool because when you have the mic on, it's like 95% only what you're saying that it's picking up the audio of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
My dad was driving the tractor and he was like, "You're not gonna be able to hear me." I was like, when we watched the video back, it was just him screaming and you couldn't even hear the tractor.
So now we're gonna go to 5, and we're gonna repeat. Starting to come on little by little.
I think it's my son. Oh no.
Now we have the 4, and we're gonna repeat. Start with the high. So pretty much the way this works is you'll start off from high to low, right? So the way you do that is you gradually come down, which is why I started with the 8 on top, then I went to the 7 to get this. And then I went to the 6, the 5, the 4, 3, 2, yeah. So eventually we get back down to the no guard. Just taking away the hair little by little. Now some barbers, when they fade, they do the no guard and they'll go up to here. Me, I personally just like to go all the way around. So different styles, different ways. This is just what works for me. This is how I learned. I learned by myself and by practicing on many people. So if this is not the correct way, oops, but this is what works for me.
Okay, love you. You did good. You can get my phone if you want. It's right here. It's right here.
I'm gonna go to sleep after I send it to you.
Okay, you can leave it. Yeah, just bring it back in.
This is where the fade's gonna start to take shape, and you're gonna really tell about the 3 and the 2 guards. I was gonna say stage. Okay.
Dad, you're so bad at recording.
I know, I was focused on watching you more.
Starting to take shape. Little by little. So now we're gonna work on the 2. Same thing. So when I do this, I like to not hurry in this part, but I'm not gonna leave the fade as like real perfect. I'm gonna go around and go around and go around. So it's not gonna look completely finished until the last pass through, because I think that if you just focus on one area and try to blend that, to me, it takes a lot longer. I'd rather just take little all the way around.
Okay.
Put it right there.
It's pretty cool because I set it up today where the sections where you're not talking, it's putting a marker.
Oh yeah?
In between those markers, I can do.
Okay. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna continue fading up here. I'm just taking a little bit here. That way I can try to blend this. What I just did now, I just pulled a little lever down, making it cut short. I'm gonna go all the way around. Make sure I get any spots I may have missed. Which I just did. So now this purple guard I'm about to use, this is gonna be a 1.5. Now this is a kind of an old guard that I have and doesn't stay too well. But if I feel like it's gonna start to move, then I'll stop it and I'll put it back on. It usually does a pretty good job of folding. This is probably one of my favorite, actually my second favorite. I'll get into my favorite guard, which makes fading a whole lot easier. I'm turning around. A little bit more. Right there. Okay. Just a smooth hand stroke that I'm doing. I'm letting the clippers glide, you know what I mean? So there's a little spot right here, but I'm gonna take care of that in a little bit. Not really too worried about it because I'm just worried about getting this up there. Some barbers I've noticed that when they do fading, they're always just attacking one certain spot. Me, I just, like I said before, I just like to just go around, take little by little off, and then I work my way up. And start the fading up here. As I will. Now I just installed the number 1 guard and repeat.
How'd you get into cutting hair? I actually don't think you really ever told me that other than you learned on yourself, but like
So
first clippers.
the first time I cut was my brother Junior. So the reason was, I don't know what happened. He shaved his head for some reason, and it pretty much looked like a cheetah. There literally was spots everywhere. So I figured I had to help him, right? I was like, there's no way I can let him, have cheetah spots. So I'm like, well, how hard could it be? I'm just pretty much shaving his head, right? Because his head was pretty much shaven. It's just with spots. So I'm like, it's not that hard, right? So I'm gonna just run it through there. And I don't know, when I picked up those clippers and I did, and it was so easy, I'm like, whoa, it's just pretty much shaving the head, right?
Yeah. Well, I can't do it.
So it was so easy, and I liked it. So I'm like, And then ever since then, I was real intrigued about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to fade. And I started doing like chili bowls, and then
On Junior?
Junior and Jose, my brother Jose, both of them. And then it's weird because right after I started doing that, we had some cable company. I guess it was a lady. She was, I guess, promoting and selling like Dish TV or something like that. Mm-hmm. So she came to our house, and I was gonna cut my hair, or I was gonna cut Jose's hair, or I just cut one of the kids' hair. And she had seen that, and she goes, "Oh, you cut hair?" I'm like, "Well, I just barely started." And it so happened that she cut hair. So she was giving me pointers on how to do it and how to blend, how to use this. Yeah, she was telling me what this did and everything, and little scenarios on, like little tips and tricks. So I'm like, So I took that and I just started going with it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was the beginning of that, which I still was horrible, right? Still sucked. It was pretty much chili bowls. So then, where I really, really started cutting hair was Bloomberg, because I used to play basketball there a lot, and all my friends were there, and so they saw that I was cutting hair, and they're like, "Oh, give me a fade." I'm like, "I don't really know how to fade, but all right, I'll do it," They were like, yeah, it's not that bad. So I started doing it and doing it. Well, I started cutting everybody's hair, and I wouldn't charge anybody at first, right? I was just doing it just to do it. I used to plug up. There was like a light pole, and there used to be like an outlet. So I would literally cut hair there. So then I guess I started getting better, and then my friends' cousins and all them started seeing that, and they started asking how much I would charge. So I literally started charging $5 a head. And then I just grew from there. Like, more of their friends started wanting haircuts, and then their cousins, and then their uncles. So I just started from there. And it pretty much became like a side business I did. I would go to work during the day. I would get out of work, and I would go cut hair on the side. So every day I would have made about $70-100.
Wow.
And then I'd use that as bar money. So I would go to I would go to the bars, and I wouldn't even, it wouldn't really hurt me because I would just use that to drink.
Yeah. This is when you were younger, huh?
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know you when you were a drinker.
Yeah. Well, I still am now. It's just not as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just started like that, and then I got more and more clientele, and I started cutting more and more people. Of course, the clientele, and then some clientele paid me a lot more than others. And then there was that wanted a haircut every week. There was one that I had that wanted one twice. They wanted it twice a week. So I was like, okay. So I started doing designs and everything. I just started learning on that too, just on Jose's. Like, I have pictures from back in 2004, 2003 of like little swirls. Remember where those were in back in the day,
Yeah,
Rodney?
Yeah.
I just started using just the regular clippers. I literally would just go like that and make designs and stuff. That was
Crazy. Now they have all the specialized tools for it, right?
Yeah, that was the in thing back in the day. Designs. Yeah. Then I started cutting my own hair. It takes a lot longer, but it can still get it done. But it beats going to the barbershop, spending $30 pretty much, $25-30, and then you gotta wait. Because one thing about a barbershop is when you go, you're waiting at least an hour or two. Just
you always give yourself a fade, or
depends. Honestly, I get lazy a lot of the times, and I'll cut it all one size. Like, I'll just hit it with a 2 or a 3.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes, when I have something coming up, if I don't get a chance to go to the barbershop, then I'll just give me a little small fade. I don't do a no guard or nothing. I'll just probably do a 3 and a 1. Just that way it looks like a little fade.
Yeah, a clean cut.
Yeah.
Or a fresh cut, rather.
Yeah, but I just started cutting, and then I guess I got pretty good, and people started wanting a haircut more, but I pretty much gave it up since I started working at Cat and all those hours. So.
And you taught a few people. How did, they just watched you, or they actually said, "Let me learn"?
So
show me how to do it.
There was a couple of them. There was 2 of them that I remember for sure. They pretty much just watched me. They asked a couple of questions, and I kind of tried to guide them. And I was never the type of person to try to, I'm not going to show you. It's a secret. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe that's right, and I don't. You want to see people grow, right?
Yeah.
It's not. I guess it is a competition if you're a barber, but at the same time, your work's going to prove. It's going to speak for itself.
Right.
If you're good, you're good. If you're not, then if you're just okay, whatever.
Those 2 people, were they good?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. They were pretty good. They learned. I didn't say I taught them. I'm not going to say I taught them everything I know, but they know.
They already had an interest.
Yeah.
They knew where to kind of learn.
Yeah.
The way you learned from that lady that just randomly showed up and she gave you pointers. Yeah. And you took it from there. They probably did the same with you.
Yep.
That's crazy that
And-
she just randomly showed up that day to sell you.
Yeah, she showed up trying to sell us cable.
And
she-
happened to be a person that knew about guards and
yeah.
that's
She
crazy.
literally was showing me the guards because I never knew how to mess with that. I pretty much was just shaving heads and doing chili bowls. I was just doing a line literally across. And maybe I would do that maybe like a small, fade, but by no means did I learn overnight. There's, it's very hard unless you have like an expert or something, which I'm no expert. I never went to no academy. I never, I just pretty much learned. I just trial and error.
So how about somebody like me with the fading fade, a balding fade, or balding head? Have you ever done that before me?
No, you're the only one I've ever attempted that on. You're the only one that I've ever.
So you basically learned how to do this through me.
Yeah, well, the blending. Someone with the, like I said, I keep wanting to say receding hairline. It's beyond
It's
receding. With the bald spot. A receding hairline would be like here, but
It's nice and
that's disappearing. But yeah.
I don't need suntan on it yet, but pretty close. I'm able to cover it up with the hair you leave.
Yeah. Like if you like what you do, if you like this type of thing, some people see it as relaxing, therapeutic. Which I do sometimes, I enjoy, you just sit there or you stand there and you just, I don't know, what I get out of joy of this is I like to see people like tell my customers, clients, whatever, man, that's a good haircut, who cut your hair, you know what I mean? Because if they're giving you compliments, that means it's good. And it makes you feel good about yourself too. You're like, yeah, I gotta go to barber. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm kind of picky about who cuts my hair. Which I don't get cut that much, but there is a guy that I have.
You're literally the only person that cuts my hair.
Yeah, I've had a young guy. He's young. He's a young kid. His name is Jacob. He used to work at Champion. He was really good. I liked him. Another one, Ruby Gallegos. She was good.
Neither one are there anymore?
No, I think she moved to Austin. I reached out to her on Facebook. I knew her name, but I didn't know her, and I just sent her a message,
Like where you
all
working
creeper
now?
status.
Where you working now? I need a haircut.
Yeah, pretty much. I messaged her on Facebook. I found her, and I sent her a message. I'm like, hey, sorry to bother you, but you cut my hair one time, and I really liked it. I just want to know where you're at. And she said she had moved to Austin. So another one is Leticia from Main Addiction. She's good too. She cuts my hair sometimes.
Main Addiction.
Main Addiction.
Is that in Seguin?
Yes, that is right there. Well, it used to be Size.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. She's good.
What's your name?
Leticia?
Leticia.
Leticia. She's good too.
She does fades.
Yes.
But do you do just one length with Leticia?
Usually I do a taper fade if I get a haircut. If I would do
I
taper
was gonna
fades.
say you let her off easy.
It's a quick, easy cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob is really good too. Like I said, Jacob, I'll try to go to him first.
Champion.
Yeah, but he's not at Champion no more. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more barbers, but once I see someone I like and I just try to stick with them. But I don't cut my hair enough to, you know what I mean, to stay with.
Yeah. Because you'll be cutting it the same length, and one day you want to go.
Yeah.
And that person's gone already, guys. You're like, dang.
Yeah. Like that Jacob, I got his number, but the last time I got a haircut from him was June. We're already in November, or gonna be November, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you cut your own hair since then?
Yeah. I just get lazy and just, like I said, I get lazy. I just trim it one size. Pretty much do a 3 all the way around. And I call it a day. That's good for another couple weeks. Then I'll do it again. See, all we're doing right now, we're just working on just taking away that line, making it disappear. Now, remember I told you, I said I was gonna tell you what my favorite guard is? Well, this one is it. Why? Because this makes life so much easier. This is a half guard. Now, some clipper sets don't have these. I always make sure to find one that does because it makes life a whole lot easier. You don't have to blend just with the pure razor, with the no guard, and it makes it a whole lot nicer, in my opinion.
Raised up or raised down?
So I start with the raised up. I always start everything with the little lever raised, pushed down, which would make the lever go, your blade go up and down. Mm-hmm. You push it all the way up.
That means it's all the way down on the stand. Yeah.
Like I want it the longest length, mm-hmm. and then eventually I'll go back around and I'll bring it all the way down, which will give a closer cut. I like to think of it of like a quarter and then or a half and then 0 and see that one fell off too. That one's getting a little wore down. Good thing is I can feel when it comes off, or it's gonna come off.
The GoPro screen has a good angle?
I haven't checked it yet. Yeah. Like it's really not that big of a deal. Like whenever you go around and you see something that's not right or not to your liking, you're like, oh man, I want to take that away a little more. I want to cut a little bit here and there. Me, I just, keep trucking, keep going, and then eventually I'll come back to it. Because you're always gonna you're gonna see something else, and you know what I mean? Like I just know that I'm gonna go back to it, so I just really don't make it a big deal. Like if I see something, I'll be like, oh, okay, I just keep that in a little mental note. All right, I'm gonna come back to that. And plus, I don't know if I'm pretty sure you do notice, but whenever I'm finished, I'll take a look at it. I'll have you stand up, do a little turnaround. And then if I see anything, then I'll sit you back down or keep you standing up, depends on what it is, where it's at. I'll tell you, turn this way, turn that way. That's if I see something.
Can we turn this light up?
Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah. A whole lot better. See, like right now, this side looks a lot better than this side because I've already started fading. Now there's a little work I still want to do around here, but that's going to be later on towards the end. I'm just trying to pretty much fade everything up. Because again, I'm going to touch everything back up. And then we'll be done.
Are there any things you do different because it's a fading fade, other than what you said earlier?
So the only thing I do different in your case is when I start the sides, I won't really go I will go high, but I won't go as high as up here because of the fact that you have so much hair loss up at the top.
So that's the hair I use to cover up.
Yeah. So what I like to do is I like to bring it up as much as possible, but I like to bring it up, but not jeopardize anything that you have here. Because if I were to do that, then this will be pretty much gone. That's why whenever I tell you, how do you comb your hair? I always recommend you kind of comb it to the front. Mm-hmm. That way it looks like you still got, more hair than what you actually really do.
Yeah, that's how I comb it.
Now you mentioned that you like to you like to comb it to the side and stuff. But when you do that, you open up, you expose your forehead where, what they say is a 5 head, I guess, because you got so much hair loss. But yeah, it pretty much is just a regular ordinary bald fade, except I just go a little higher and I try to blend your balding spot a little more than a regular haircut would be, you know. Like I said, each barber, they do things different. Like I said, I bet you if a professional barber saw me do this and they were like, oh, that's wrong, you gotta do it this way, you gotta take off the crown and you gotta take some off of this. But I'm no expert. I'm a homemade expert. Okay. See, like right now I see it's something that I wanna work on here, but that's gonna be later. Right now I'm gonna focus on getting this. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to take the guard off. This is going to be just the pure razor. I have it all the way up. And then I see like a little small thing right here. I'm going to try blending that up. I'm going to clean the clippers first. Yeah, I'll work on this little area right there. Now this is just really technically a flick of the wrist. See, I'm just moving it like that. And when I'm pushing on it, I'm not pushing like full force. I'm just kind of letting it glide through my hands just like that. Because if I push, that's when it's gonna dig in. It's gonna, you know, gonna be really short. So I just pretty much just let it. And that will take that line away. Okay, that looks pretty good, except for up here. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. But that's gonna be right at the end. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. I'm gonna work on this back piece. Same thing, I have it all the way up. I'm gonna turn it this way a little bit, right there. Now, only problem area we have left is if you turn this way, we have this right here. And then of course this, which I'm gonna take away and I'm gonna blend. First, I'm gonna get rid of this bottom part. See? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna blend this and it's gonna make the fade pop a little bit more.
He said pop.
Okay. So for this, I'm gonna go back up with the guard because I want to see these little pieces that are sticking up. I want to take that away. So I'm gonna, just to be safe, I'm gonna start with maybe a 4 because I don't want to start with a 2 or something, because then what if that's too short? Then it's gonna tear, it's gonna cut, and then I'm gonna have to make it go up a little bit higher. So I just want to play it safe and start with the 4. Now if it doesn't cut anything, I just go down to a 3. Once again, we're trying to fade up. Okay, 4 took very little off, so now we're gonna go to a 3. We're gonna repeat. Start high, or with the guard, raise all the way. And then nothing's cutting. Bring it down. And then we're gonna repeat again with the 2. So the reason I have a lot of trouble on this side is because when I was cutting your hair, I focused more on this side. And when I did this one, I was doing it at this angle. So I didn't really come around too much of the side. And I didn't really get a chance to work on it too much. A lot of it is because we really don't have too much room around here, which is not a big deal, but you just got to go back and make sure you take care of that. Which I'm starting to, little by little, it's starting to go away and you see the fade blend. So a little bit more and we'll have that done. That'd be a good cutting area, you know?
So that's a benefit of like a barber chair that spins. And
Yeah. That's one of the big benefits, because you can maneuver them where you want, you know?
Yeah.
I recommend that if you're gonna focus on doing this as a career or whatever, get some good equipment. Start with a good barber chair. Well, not really a good barber chair. Something that that spins. That way you can maneuver the client however you want. You can, because they don't know where you need to focus on, where you want. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do the same thing with the 1. All the way up. So now I'm gonna come around this side. Okay. And I wanna take a little bit off of here too. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did on the other side. We're gonna start with the 4. We're gonna work our way back down to a 1. Anything we may have missed. Do 4 just to be safe. Nothing there. Go down. Nothing there. Go down to 3. Now the reason we're not seeing anything is because earlier when I first started, I started trimming all this. So we pretty much took care of it right then and there. Now we're just sculpting, making it look pretty. Nothing there. Very little there. So that means I'm gonna go back down to a 2 now. It's weird, but you have like a feeling, you know, like you can feel when it cuts, and as well you can hear it. But it's pretty cool. Like you just learn to know.
You
And
know,
then you can see it
making a difference.
Yeah. But really you can feel it. You can feel the hair, like the way it feels on the clippers, you can feel it, you know, so you know that it's cutting.
Are you doing that with like a wrist flick motion? Like
Yes. Everything's always with the wrist flick. Except for at the beginning when you start, you know, just cutting, just to cut, that you're just like you're shaving a sheep or, or something, you know what I mean? You're just like in there, just, you know. Okay, that's the 2. So our last one is the 1, and that should pretty much be it for that. So wait a little. That's pretty much your fade right there. I can go up a little bit more here. I'm gonna try to do that with the 1. Okay, so now I'm gonna have you face towards me. Sit and you can stay in the chair. Oh, sorry, hold on. Get this cord. There you go. Okay. So our haircut's pretty much done here. I'm just gonna trim the top. So for this instance, since he has a lot of missing hair, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim just the tips. That's all I'm gonna focus on is the tips. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to comb in straight. And I'm just gonna give a little trim. You can do this with scissors, but in his case, he just has little hairs. So I just typically do it with the clippers, and I'll use a comb I'll bring it down. And I just give a little trim. Pretty much like if I'm giving them an edge up, but without giving them. All we're doing is just, all we're looking for just a little trim. See, just a little small trim around. Now what I'll do is I'll comb it. And then I'll have him face this way. And then I like to use my brush also. That kind of keeps it flattened out. There's like little baby hairs just sticking in. I just come and trim those up. Okay, just pretty much make it straight. He doesn't have a great hairline because it's mainly missing, but you just pretty much go around. You don't want to trim too much. Like you don't want to make his line up here. We're just giving him a little trim because what he'll do in the end is he'll come either this way. I believe you like to do it which way? This way?
Whatever side I sleep on, they comb it the other way.
Yeah, he'll tend to comb it there. It looks a little straight right there. All right.
Stand up?
Yeah. So in Adam's situation, I would say this is severe. So he had a big balding spot here, which we attempted to hide, which I think we did fairly good, along with the fade. But what I did was I just pretty much, I left it long on the top, but I also cut it enough so that it looks natural as possible. That way he can keep his hair, whatever hair he has left remaining, and that way he can get a decent haircut. Now if you look up, so yeah, he has some hair loss, but he can still get a decent haircut. And then on the side, if you turn to the side, you can still notice that he has a fade. And it's not too, it's not so noticeable. Yes.
Right on.
All right.
You wanna close it up?
Yeah, we're gonna pause it and then we'll just do a final, like a standard, like a turner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After that's off. Okay. All right, so this is the final product right here. We managed to somewhat hide his balding on the top. We gave him no guard. We gave him pretty much a bald fade. So we bringing it around and bringing it there, and also trying to save as much as we can on the front and on the top. That way he has kind of a normal haircut still. And also you could do it. You can't zoom in, right? Yeah.
Thank you. This is the first they're gonna see you. They didn't see you in the video. This is one, everybody. Shout out, shout out.